Hello? Hello. All right. So, welcome to the... Hello? Hello? Okay. I almost never speak into a mic, so my own problem here. But welcome to the Trio Menagerie Solos concert, where each of us will be alternating on and off, presenting pieces alone, solo works. And I guess it's my turn, because nobody else wanted to come out, so... but the first piece I will be playing will be the Isai First Sonata, and Eugene Isai was a violin virtuoso from the early 20th century. He was friends with a lot of French and Belgian composers and musicians around, and so he would compose pieces for them, knowing their strengths and weaknesses. And this is the first movement of his first sonata for solo violin in G minor. We will be alternating.
All right, hi everybody. All right, hi everybody. So one thing you'll find out, I'm going to be doing some solo viola rap. I was thinking of bringing Hintermint, but I'm not confident with one of the movements, so instead I'm going to be doing 2 movements of the Ligeti Solo Viola Sonata. 2 movements because the other 4 movements are insanely difficult, and it is my personal Mount Everest, and the 2 that you're getting today are the only 2 I can actually do. Yeah, we'll see. But the first one is titled Haralonga. It's sort of reminiscent of old Hungarian folk song. I'd like to call it Air on the C string for a reason you'll see soon enough. And then the second one, if any of you were at Anthrocon, you saw me do this in Anthrocon tonight. The second movement is called Loop. And it is basically the same bit of music played over and over and over, and it gets slightly faster each time. So these are 2 movements from the Ligeti Solo Viola Sonata. Is this thing on? Okay. We are now going to turn it back to Shast again, and they're going to do something else. Right, yeah, we're going to get it back to Shast, and they're going to do something else.
I swear that we're organized over here. I swear. So you heard Isai 1, and that was a pretty sort of surreal piece. But as time went on, when Isai was composing, he found more friends to compose for. He wrote his third sonata for a George Enescu, or Georges Enescu, who was a Romanian violinist, widely considered to be one of the most important Romanian classical composers and musicians of all time. Huge friend of Isai's. So Isai decided to write this piece for him. It's a single movement sonata, quite often called the ballade. That's the subtitle, but often people just refer to it as just the Isai ballade. Like the song, you know, it is a heroic song of a hero on a journey. And let me just, I have this piece memorized, but I'm still gonna put music out, you know, just in case.
Your turn.
Keeping it simple, are we? All right. So for this one, I'm actually going to do two very different pieces for this next number. And part of that is because of various factors involving I actually premiered one of these two pieces, and it's very short. So as a composer, getting my degree in composition, but also playing viola, sometimes, especially in my doctorate at CCM, people asked me to premiere their stuff. And so I actually know this composer. In fact, I was talking with him on Facebook the other day, mentioning, oh, you know, I'm thinking of bringing this to this recital. And he told me, you know what? I was just thinking of that set. It was fate! So I am going to go ahead and leave my phone out because I told him I was going to video record this. And this is going to be 6 Images After Grace by my friend Daniel Harrison. before I do anything else, IFC, say hi to Dan! Thank you guys for being such amazing sports about that. And now I do have one more piece that I am going to be playing entirely from memory because I lost track of where my music went. And it's exceptionally difficult to find sheet music for this, as I've come to find out. But those of you who were at our classical parlor concert yesterday may recall that we did a trio by one Mr. Gideon Klein. I was actually the one to introduce the trio to that piece because I had been introduced to a different work of Gideon Klein's by my teacher in my undergrad, one Mr. Richter Noren, who gave me this particular number and told me I might have a great time with it. And while I'm bringing it here almost 13 years later, so clearly it worked. This is the Solo Viola Preludium by Gideon Klein, and prepare yourselves because it's a doozy. Anyway, that's all I have for you today, and we are going to finally turn it over to Rory, who has some Bach of her own to deal with. And this time you're actually going to see someone in a fursuit head. Right. Everybody give it up for Rory!
Hello, can you hear me? Yeah. Yay. So I was originally going to be playing some Ligeti for you, but some of you guys know I've been dealing with a bloody cuticle, which is very metal, I will say, but not so great for 20th century solo cello works. So I decided to bring for you guys one of my favorite of the Bach cello suites, and I figured I'd give you a treat of trying to play my new fursuit head for the first time. And huge thanks to Hallow Moon for this gorgeous suit that's very comfortable and makes it fairly, as much as it can be in a fursuit head to play cello. The Bach cello suites, a lot of you guys probably know the first suite. It's in media everywhere. The third, oh, there goes the third, is one of my favorite of the suites, but something really neat about the cello suites, thank you. Oh, look at this, thank you, Shast. Is that we actually didn't have them until the early 20th century, getting into there, when a very young Pablo Casals, who's a brilliant cellist, found some old moldy music in the back of a music store, which turned out to be the manuscripts of the Bach cello suites. They've never really been discovered. There's a lot of debate whether they were actually in Bach's hand or if they were transcribed, but not important to me, but we really have Pablo Casals to thank for the cello suites. And one of my favorite stories of Pablo Casals with the suites that I always think of is that when he got into old age, he would wake up and he'd sort of be bent over, and he would go get his cello, he'd play the Bach suites, and he would open up. And that's just one of my favorite stories of the power of music, and so I really do often like to start my practice with a Bach cello suite. So I guys hope you enjoy. It's 6 movements. They're all different dances. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy. Oh, and thank you, because I'm the last on here. Wow, that's weird. Thank you so much to our AV staff who always do an incredible job of making us sound great. Thank you, IFC. Thank you, Hijinks, and Belle, and all the staff here who've made this an amazing thing. And thank you all of you for coming to all of our concerts. It's what gets cons wanting us to go to them. So thank you so much for letting us share our passion and showing that classical music is alive and well and thriving. Let's go. Woo! Thank you again so much, everyone, to 3B. We'll see. Maybe we'll see you next year. We'll be at MFF. We're guests of honor there, too. We're still in shock. We're going to have a lot of time to prep for that, so we've got some really exciting stuff planned. So stay tuned. We'll try to be active on Twitter. I'm sorry we're bad at that. We're going to work on it, but I hope to see you at MFF and hopefully next year. So have a great week, safe, all that good stuff.